Hey everybody, welcome to the show, my channel, The Flamethrower Grill. I'm Scott, and today I'm going to show you how to trim a brisket. We're going to get rid of that excess fat so you can get it on the grill. And hey, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, smash that like button, and hit the little bell so you're notified next time I throw a video on there. It really helps, keeps the channel going. I appreciate it. Well, let's get to this. Let's show you how to trim up your brisket. Okay, folks, we're going to cut this thing open and we got to do a little trimming. And there is some fat on it, on these briskets. You always have to kind of get rid of. Oh, this thing looks fantastic. Look at the marbling on this thing. That is fantastic. It's a nice piece of meat. She spent a lot of money on this, and Costco's got some great pricing. So here we go, and this is what we need to do. You know, there's a little excess fat. There's usually this flap right here that's got to come up. We've got all this fat on the back. We need to trim down to about 1/4 inch, and so we're going to take care of that right now. All this little excess stuff. You know, when it cooks, it'll render down, but if it's too thick, it just becomes this globule of fat. Nobody wants to eat that. But this one's pretty lean already. They did a nice job trimming this already. But in any case, give me a moment and we're going to get started trimming this. So, okay, folks, here we have this brisket. On this side, we have the marbling side. And there's this big piece of fat here, and we want to go ahead and trim this off. And we don't want to make a huge pocket here, but on this particular side, there's always this little fat side. We're going to go ahead and trim off most of it, but we want to leave some of it. I don't want to make a pocket, but you don't want to leave this huge piece of fat here because nobody's going to want to bite into that. So what we try to do, it's going to be a little bit concave, but you don't want to go much more farther than that. So this is the easy part. See how we still got this little bit of fat here? Now, some of this fat is great. You know, it's flavor, it's juiciness, it's delectability, actually. Did I just say that? Anyway, so that's about as far as I want to go. There is a little pocket of fat there, but we're going to leave the rest of it. This marbling looks fantastic on this side. Okay, now we have this side. We've got to deal with all this. This is a huge amount of fat. And what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and cut this down on this particular side. We're going to get it to about 1/4 inch. We want to leave 1/4 inch of fat on this particular side. Okay, so we're just going to keep trimming this. Now, in a lot of cases, this particular piece right here, and I went a little too far, but this is usually a huge flap. So we're going to go ahead and take, and that's not the end of the world, folks. We're just going to keep slicing off a little bit. It looks like they've trimmed this pretty well already. And we're just going to slice off and just keep slicing it until we think it's about 1/4 inch. And because we don't want any huge pieces of fat. So let's go ahead and just keep trimming this. Okay, you see we've hit there. So I'm going to probably stop here. And that's probably pretty good. Get some of this off the edge. Now we want some of this because this is going to render down and it's going to turn into a golden brown. However, if you start getting ½ inch, 3/4 inches of fat, it's just not going to render. It's going to be this big globule of fat. So we take off all the excess. This particular piece of meat has been cut pretty well. They've trimmed it up pretty well. So now here's another thing. When you do a brisket, this is majorly important. I don't know if you can see this grain. The muscle here on this particular flat section of it. This particular piece of meat is made up of 3 muscles. In this particular section here, the grain goes this way. There's a couple things you need to understand is, in order to get a nice tender piece of meat when you cut it, you need to cut cross grain. Okay, so when this is done, now when it's done, it's going to be dark brown, black. So we need to know that this is, now some people will go actually cut this off and make a flat section here so they know that's where they need to cut. What I'm going to do is just do this. I'm going to make 2 cuts, just like that. You see that? That's going to tell me this is the way I need to cut. Okay? So you need to do that. You need to know you need to cut across the grain. However, this section, it's actually another 2 pieces, 2 muscles. I see a little more fat I want to take off here, but this is actually another 2 muscles over here that kind of lay on top of each other. And when we get down to this section here, we start cutting it. When we get to this spot, you'll see, I'll show you later, we're actually going to turn it 90 degrees and start cutting it this way. But in any case, that's it. We've got it trimmed up well enough. Well, there you go, folks. Pretty simple stuff, right? It's not difficult. You don't have to be a butcher or a pit master or a trained chef. Yeah, just go ahead and trim that extra fat off there. Leave a little for flavor. I do have another video show you how to season the brisket before you throw it on the smoker. And I have another video on how to smoke a brisket on a gas grill if you don't have a smoker. That is pretty simple, pretty easy to do, and anybody can do it. Well, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and hit that bell so you get notified on my next videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.